Hey Scorpions region, you are number 5 of 6 today for the Fanatically Real Redraft draft selection shows. You guys are coming up next at 6 p.m. East Coast time. I got my lovely assistant here with me. Can you scoot in and say hi to everybody over here?
Hi.
So the reason we are doing this over one whole day today instead of stretched over a couple of days is because we got to celebrate this little princess's birthday yesterday. She turned 8 and I asked her to help me out with the Scorpion show. We will be back in 20 seconds to make sure that we get going. Hey, welcome back. Looks like we got 3 of you live right now with us. If you are out there, make sure you say something if you can. We get the live chat up. We will be able to respond to you. It's been a crazy day. We've been doing this since 10 o'clock this morning, but in reality, I've been doing this since 6:30 this morning as we realized that we didn't have any printer paper to print anybody's logos off with. We had to get the first region, which was the Banshees set up. The Banshees went an hour and 4 minutes because of a very late Snake Eyes. The last group that we just did was the Hydras. Had no Snake Eyes. The only one today that did not have one. So that went a little bit quicker. I think we were a total of 33 minutes. So we are going to get started with you all. We've got some veterans with us that are returning that I don't know if they've seen this or not. We've got 2 new people in this region as well. So we're going to go over how this looks. She's over here being all crazy. So this is the draft board for the Scorpions. As you can see, we've got draft spots 1 through 6 across the top and 7 through 12. Across the bottom, as you can see, we've got what we call the action dice there on the left-hand screen in the middle. On the right-hand side, we've got the slotting dice. And you can see on the bottom right-hand corner, we have what those action dice equate to as far as what we're going to do to the board. We'll explain it a little bit more as we go to fold up all of your team's logos. So here is all 12 teams' logos right here for the 2 teams that don't have logos yet. We've got a name for your team in there. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to fold up each one of these 12 teams' logos, and we're going to put it in the 25th anniversary Walter FSA hat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shake it up, and I'll have my lovely assistant pull the first one out for us. We're going to put that team on the board. Not yet. Leave it right there. We're going to put that team on the board based on the roll of the 12-sided die. And then after that, we will roll the action dice. With the action dice, what we're going to do is we're going to roll 2 6-sided dice. And then we're going to total those 2 dice up. And it's going to be kind of like craps. What you're going to see there in the bottom right-hand corner is what those dice equate to. We have clearing the board, 3 team swaps. We have pulling teams from the board, moving teams up and down the board. Spin until we fill a position. Sometimes we fill a position and pull a team off the board at the same time. Sometimes we swap with 2 teams. Sometimes we swap with 3 teams. We can lock a team on a board. We can flip the whole board. And if we get Snake Eyes, the very first time we get Snake Eyes, we will clear the whole board except for the teams that are locked on the board. If after we get Snake Eyes the first time, we get it a second time, we will do a 3-team swap from there. So once we get all 12 of these put in, folded up and put in the hat, we'll give it a shake. We will have my lovely assistant pull 1 team out. We will roll the 12-sided dice, and then we will put that team on the board, and then we will get started. If you have any questions, the 5 of you that are out there watching right now, shoot me a message, say something to me. Coop says he hates the hat. I know. I was trying to figure out what I was going to wear for this one. I'm running out of outfits. I've already worn the FSA jersey. I've worn both of my FSA t-shirts. I've worn my FSA hats. I wore my own team stuff when it was the draft selection show for the Gold Dragons. I didn't know what to put on for this one. I knew there was quite a few Dallas fans down here. Plus, it's the Southwest Scorpions region, with Texas being the biggest part of that. So I figured that I would put this on. Roderick says he never got his hat. I got one sitting around for you, man, so we can make that happen. Jerry, so Jerry Jones, not that Jerry Jones, is on with us. Jerry, just hook up with me. I think you're on Discord already. All you have to do is message me there and we'll start working. I've got about 18, 19 teams that still need logos. So that's what I'll be doing all of the next 2 weeks. Just to kind of give you a quick rough schedule of what's going to happen. I got to be on post tomorrow real quick for a little bit to get some stuff taken care of to get ready for the surgery that's going to happen on the 25th. Then I will be spending Tuesday through Saturday doing logos for anybody that needs to get them done. Remember, Sunday is a draft for all regions at 7 p.m. East Coast time. That's all 6 regions at the same time. That's going to be nuts. But that's happening next Sunday on the 20th. And then after that, I will have a couple of days before I have to head over to Charleston for my surgery to be able to work on logos. And then depending on how long I'm in the hospital, what my recovery looks like, I'll be working on logos all the way up until the start of the season. So we've got basically from now until I think it's the 8th of September because the season starts on the 9th of September. I have to check that, 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there to be able to work on logos. And if we don't get a logo done for you until a little bit into the season, just know that we'll have a logo done for you and it'll be ready for you to come back next year. So let me have this hat real quick. Well, it's going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we got one more 12 teams going in there. Let's see. Metric says the hat is beautiful. I figured you would kind of like this. I think if Matt Brown's out there too, I'm pretty sure he's a Dallas Cowboys fan as well. Roger, we're going to get you your hat. We'll work on that for you. Mama D says hi. Hi, Mama D. I'm glad you guys are watching this together. All right, so we're going to shake the dig inside of this hat. We're going to get my lovely assistant to pull one of the teams out of here. We're going to roll the 12-sided die, and we're going to put the team that we pull out of the hat right now, or she pulls out of the hat right now, onto the board with the roll of the 12-sided die. Let's see who we've got. First team out of the hat is Jamie Serta with the Horny Toads. Jamie, I don't know if you're one of the 6 that are out there watching right now, but if you are, say hi. We're going to get you on the board here in just a second, but we have to roll a 12-sided die first. Now, what you're going to see is me look over this shoulder quite a bit today because I'm running 3 screens right now. One of the screens has to be my 65-inch TV that's up here on the wall that's going to control the 12-sided die. So we're going to roll that die right now. Jamie, we are going to put you in the number 6 spot. So let me get the Horny Toads turned on. And what you're going to see is you'll see your logo show up right here in the corner of my screen. And then what we're going to do is move you into the number 6 spot to start this whole thing off with. And then what we do from there is we roll the action dice. If you have any questions about the action dice, let me know. I will explain it as we get it though. And we're going to roll and see what our total is. Total is 4, which means we are going to move teams up or down the board based on the roll of a 12-sided die. If it's an odd number, we move everybody up 1 spot. If it's an even number, we move everybody down 1 spot. Board is circular, so you can move from 1 to 12 or from 12 to 1. In this case, since Jamie's the only one on the board, depending on what we roll, he's either going to move up to 5 or move down to 7. So we roll a 12, which is an even number, means he's going to move down 1 spot. So Jamie going from 6 to 7 right from the get-go. And we are going to roll some action dice. 7 of you out there, somebody say hi to me. So with 7, it says we are going to spin into an open position is filled. First, we have to pull a team out of the hat. So I'm going to get my lovely assistant to pull another team out of the hat. And what we will do is we will put that team on the board in whatever we spin. Unless we spin a 7, then we'll have to respin because Jamie's already got that spot. Anthony Ferguson out there and lucky ass Ferg. We're going to put him on the board. Ferg, let's see where we're going to put you. Let's roll the 12-sided die. We are going to put you in the number 9 spot. So let's get lucky ass Ferg fired up here. And we are going to put you in the number 9 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice say, nope, leave that there. We're not pulling anything yet. Action dice says 3, which means we're going to pull a team from the board. The only way we pull a team from the board is if we roll a 7 or a 9 on this dice. If we do not, we just roll the action dice again. Look at that. So 7 is Jamie Serta, who just got moved into that spot. We're going to pour the Horny Toads off the board. Lock him in the corner. We're going to take the Horny Toads logo and we're going to throw it back into the hat. Ferg says he's hoping to end up in the top 5. Well, you already know you down at 9. It's too easy to move into the top 5 with the way this board goes. We've got a lot of people flip-flopping today. Let's see, number 8 means we're going to spin and replace the team if the position is filled. So what we're going to do, shake up the hat. Whatever team we pull out is going on the board no matter what. If for some reason we do roll a 9, this team will replace Ferg, and Ferg will actually go back in the hat again. Lovely assistant pulling a team. She has pulled out Kelvin Ringgold, and Brady sits down to number 1 with the logo of the Baltimore Ravens logo here, or close to it because this is his team. So what we're going to do is Kelvin will go into the spot that we roll no matter what. If it's 9, then we will pull Ferg from the board, and he gets the number 1 spot for the moment. So we got to get Brady sits down to number 1, and we got to get him in the number 1 spot. Kelvin, I don't know if you're out there or not watching this, but you currently have the number 1 spot. But as everybody knows, it doesn't last very long. Roll the action dice. Action dice says 12, and just like I said, it doesn't last very long. So 12 is flip the whole board. So what happens is, just to give you an example, because it's about to happen, 1 becomes 12, 2 becomes 11, 10 becomes 3, 9 becomes 4, just like that. So Kelvin just got on the board at the number 1 spot, and he goes down to 12. And Ferg gets up to number 4. He said he wanted to be in the top 5, so there he is for the moment. Roll some action dice. Action dice say 10. So this is a new one for the people who hadn't been around for a while. This is a 3-team swap. What we're going to do is roll 3 12-sided die. The old program would show us the digits that are actually coming up on the dice on a little bit of the screen. This new one does not do that. The old one that we used to use in years previous, it has closed down and no longer works. So what will happen is I'll roll the 3 12-sided die. You'll see them come up here in just a second. And then on my side, I have this little tiny spot where I can push an I, which is like an information button. It will show the 3 numbers. So what happens is when we get the 3 numbers, and they're not in numerical order, they're not from high to low or low to high. I think it is in the order in which they stopped rolling according to the computer. So what we will do is we will move the first team to the second spot to the third spot, and the third spot move back over to the first spot. There's only 2 teams on the board, so I don't know if it's really going to affect much. But let's roll the 3 12-sided die and see what we get to come up. All right, we got a 2, an 11, and a 2 again. We've had that a lot today when we've rolled 3 die where we've gotten a lot of the same digits. So let's pull this up. And it says the 2 is going to move to the 11 is going to move to the 2, and then the 2 will move to 2. There's nobody in any of those spots. So what we're going to do is re-roll the action dice. Action dice says we've got a 10 now. Same thing that we just did. We're going to roll 3 12-sided dice again and see what we get to have happen this time. We got an 11, a 10, and a 9. Nobody in those spots. 10, 11, and 9. Nobody in those spots, so we will re-roll the action dice. We have an 11, which means we are going to lock a team on the board. Now, we only lock a team if we roll a single 12-sided die and we get the numbers 4 or 12. Ferg just said lock it in, so it's a possibility that if we get a 4, you will be locked in. So here's what happens if we lock a team in. We have this little red lock icon that we will put on that team in the corner. No matter what happens to this board, that team will be drafted from that spot. Even if we get snake eyes, we pull everybody from the board, we're flipping boards, we're moving people up and down. Any of that stuff happens, that team is locked. So once you have that lock on it, you know you're drafting from that spot. So let's roll a single 12-sided die. Let's see what we get. We got an 11 and nobody is in that spot, so we will re-roll. Action dice say 5 means we are going to spin until we get an open position filled. So even if we roll a 4 or a 12, we will re-roll again. But any other number, we will put a team on the board. Is your eyes okay? Your allergies kicking in? Yeah. Let's see what we get. Jamie Serta coming back out of the house with the out of the hat with the horny toes, getting ready to go on the board. Let's see where we're going to put him. Single 12-sided die is going to go into the number 3 position. So horny toads into number 3. And again, for the moment, let's re-roll some action dice. Have them Cheetos. Are those Cheetos good? Number 9 means we're going to swap 2 teams' positions with 2 12-sided dice. So we'll put in 2 12-sided dice this time when we'll roll. See if this messes with any of the teams. We got a number 1 and a number 11. Nobody is in either one of those spots. So we will re-roll the action dice. We got a 6, which means we're going to swap 2 teams' positions with 2d12. So we will roll that again. We got a 5 and a 9. Nobody in either one of those spots. So again, nobody is going anywhere. We got a 5 and a 4, which is a 9, which means we're going to swap 2 teams again. Let's roll 2 12-sided die and see if anybody moves. We have a 6 and a 7. Nobody in those spots. So we're going to roll some action dice again. It better not be your Cheeto fingers. Nope. You getting Cheetos all over me? It's 6. We're going to roll 2 12-sided dice again. We're getting a lot of these back to back to back. See if this affects anybody. 12 and 7. So Ringgold, you're in the 12 spot. You are now moving up to the 7 spot. Things change pretty quick.
Good luck for him.
Yeah, good for him, right? A little bit better. So we've got a 4, which means we're going to move everybody up or down the board based on a single 12-sided die roll, whether we get an odd or an even. Let's see what we get. We got an even, which means everybody is going to move down a position. So Kelvin will move to number 8. Ferg, you're moving down to 5. You're still in the top 5. And Jamie is moving to number 4. Action dice. A lot of movement for just the 3 teams that are on there. 9. Swap 2 teams' positions. Let's see what we get when we get 2 12-sided die to go. We got a 4 and an 11. So, Jamie, you are sliding down the board all the way to number 11. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice say 8, which means we're going to spin and replace a team if we need to. If not, they will just go into an open spot. So it does not matter about the team coming out of here because they will go onto a spot on the board even if they have to replace somebody. So the team out of the hat is Brian Ware, one of our new people. I do believe this is a relation to Matt Brown bringing him in for us this year. So Brian Ware will go on the board in one of these spots. Does not matter even if it's filled. Ware is going into the number 5 spot. So since we rolled an 8 and it can replace a team if it's already filled, Brian Ware is coming on the board. He is going to go into the number 5 position. Ferg, you wanted to be in the top 5. You were. Now you're off the board. So let's get you off there. And let's get you back in the hat. So everybody knows that you are going back in the hat. And let's roll some action dice. Number 9, total of 9, means we're going to swap 2 teams' positions. So we need 2d12. Let's roll 2 12-sided die and see if it affects anything. We've got a 1 and an 8. So Ringgold was in the number 1 spot for a little bit. He is moving back up into that spot now with a 2d12. We're rolling action dice. Action dice says 10. Which means we are swapping 3 teams around. We have 3 teams on the board. We'll see if any of these positions are affected by 3 12-sided dice. We have 2 7 7. Man, that has happened a lot today. So we have nobody in the 2 or the 7's positions, so nobody gets affected. So we will re-roll action dice. Action dice say 9, so now we are reducing this down to 2 12-sided die. And see if we swap any teams around. We've got a number 4 and number 8. We've got nobody in either one of those spots. Lots of rolls with no action happening. Back to the action dice. We've got a 3, which means we're going to pull a team from the board. We will only pull a team from the board if we roll a 1, 5, or 11. See if we roll any of those. We got a 4, so nobody comes off the board. More action dice. Action says 7, so it means we're going to put a team on the board. It also says that we will spin into an open position. It needs to be filled. So if we spin a 1, 5, or 11, we will be re-spinning. This team coming into the hat will go on the board. We just don't know where they're going yet. Who we got? We got Devin Jenkins and the Virginia Blackbeards going on the board. DJ, we are going to put you on the board in the number 9 spot. So let's get the Blackbeards pulled up. And let's put you in the number 9 spot. All right, we got 4 teams on the board. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 4, means everybody's going to move up or down 1 position based on a roll of the dice, odd or even. It says that our odd board is circular. Everybody moves up one spot. That means Ringgold moves to number 12. Jamie moves to 10. Devin moves to 8. Brian moves to 4. Back to the action dice. Action dice say 4. Everybody just moved up or down one spot. Watch everybody move right back down one more spot. Let's see what we get. We got an odd number, which means everybody is moving up the board again. So that means 12 becomes 11, 10 becomes 9, 8 becomes 7, and 4 becomes 3. It is brutal. So brutal. We end up getting an 8. 8 means we spin and replace a team if it's filled. So if we get a 3, 7, 9, or 11, the team that's coming out of the hat now will replace. Yeah, we're at 20 minutes already, and this is all we got on the board. Nope, you did not miss a snake eyes. Stop jinxing it. Ferg, you're getting ready to go back on the board, and because it's an 8, you will replace anybody. So let's see what number you get. You're either going to replace or go on the board. You are going to go in the number 1 spot right now. So Ferg is going on to the number 1 spot for the moment. We know how quickly that changes around here. He just wants a top 5. Right now, he's the man. Let's see. We got another 7. That means we are going to put a team on the board, and they will go into an empty spot. So even if we have to re-roll because that position is already filled, we will do that. Let's see who my lovely assistant has pulled out. She's pulled out Rock and Rollers. Josh Cooper is out there watching right now. Coop, let's see where we put you on the board. So because it's a 7, we will continue to re-roll until you get an open spot if we roll one that's already filled. So no, 12 is not filled. This great logo that we created for you. We brought this old logo back out of retirement that we had that was black and silver and red before. And we just used the same logo and recolored it. Love it. I know you're trying to get some shirts or hats made out of this. We still need to talk about that. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice say 9. She's over here. So I think she's in more suspense than the rest of us. 9 says we're going to swap 2 teams' positions with 2d12. So let's roll 2 12-sided die and see what happens. Nobody's locked yet. So 2 and 10 swap. Nobody's in those positions, so nobody's going anywhere. We're going to re-roll some action dice. It would look pretty awesome on a hat, wouldn't it? I think it would too. 4, so everybody's going to move up or down a position based on a single 12-sided roll, whether it's odd or even. We got an 8, which is an even number, which means everybody is going to move down 1 position. So that means Ware moves to 4. Lucky Ass Ferk moves to 2. Josh, you move into 1. Ringgold moves to 12. Jamie moves to 10. And the Blackbeards move to number 8. Everybody move down 1 position. So now you are in the number 1 spot, Josh. Let's re-roll some action dice. Action dice say 10. We're doing a swap with 3 teams. He says lock it up. Let's see what we got. I swear this thing knows. So that's an odd looking roll there for that bottom one. So we actually have 3, 7, and 8. So number 3 is going to move into 7. There is nobody in 7. Number 7 is going to move into 8. There is no 8, but 8 will move into 3. And the Blackbeards are now in one of the top 5 spots. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all filled. Roll some action dice. Action dice says 9. It means we're going to swap with 2 12-sided dice. And we are going to swap 2 and 4. So Lucky Ass Ferg still in the top 5, but now has slid to number 4. What did Chris say? Says, little one sounds like she's had enough. She's going to lose her head when it becomes Snake Eyes. Not as much as Daddy's going to lose his head. Does the 3 rolls always go in order? Because I've never seen it give you the numbers numerically. So, no. So it will not do from lowest to highest or highest to lowest. I think that they give it to you in the order that they stop rolling. So it's never in any kind of order, which is good because then it'll move things around and it's not always in numerical order. I like it that it's kind of random like that. So we just got done rolling a 9. So 9 means we're going to do 2d12 swaps. We are now going to swap 10 and 4. So Ferg, you just moved. You're moving again. Now you're moving down to the 10 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Number 3 means we're going to pull a team from the board. We only pull a team from the board if we roll one of the numbers of the teams that's on the board. Team 4. So we just moved Jamie up to the number 4 spot, and now he is getting pulled from the board. Horny Toads again being pulled from the board. Say, wait, we did the swap already? Did I not re-roll the dice again? I thought I had re-rolled it and then we got the number again. I'll pause. Let me know if I messed up. 2 swapped with 4, yes, and then we re-rolled again. Did I not re-roll that for another swap? Can anybody, I know it's live, do you guys have the ability to go back and rewatch? I want to make sure that we keep the integrity. Somebody let me know. Metric, I did not re-roll? Tell me where we should be. So should Ferg be back in 4 and should Jamie be back in 10? Okay, so let's go back to where we were at. Thank you all for keeping me honest. So Ferg should be at 4 and Jamie should be back at 10. Is that what you're telling me? Roderick says I did not roll. Okay, so let me know if my teams are in the right spot. I looked off as well. Chris distracted me whenever he asked me about the 3 rolls, and I thought I had already rolled. Okay, yes, 4 and 10, so they should stay right there then, is what you're all telling me. I'll pause until I get a one more confirmation to make sure I'm right the way the board is now. Yeah, I'm blaming you, Chris. Maybe you distracted me. At least we haven't had snake eyes yet. Oh, man, I said it out loud, so watch. That'll probably be the next roll, and everything we just changed won't matter anyways. Okay, so we're good now. All right, good deal. All right, let's re-roll.
Okay, I want to scan for a second.
Me too. All right, we got a 4 now. So now we're going to move everybody up and down the board. It's right now. Metric says, all right, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you for everybody that caught that for me. So we're going to roll a 12-sided dice, odd or even. We're going to move everybody up and down the board 1 spot. That is a number 1, even though it's sitting on its edge according to my screen up here. That is an odd number. That means everybody is moving up 1 position. 12 becomes 11, 10 becomes 9, 1 becomes 12. Brian Ware moves into the 1st spot. Blackbeard's number 2. Ferg, you're still in the top 5 at number 3. She probably just as confused as everybody. Let's re-roll these action dice. We got a 3. So the 3 says that we need to pull a team from the board. Let's see if we are pulling a team from the board based on a 12-sided dice. I'm glad you all caught that. I thought I had re-rolled. I'm glad that you all caught that. So that's a number 6. We are not pulling anybody from the board because nobody is in that position. Let's roll some action dice. Number 5 means we're going to spin until we get an open position filled. So we will pull a team from the hat and we will spin. The open spots are 4 through 8 and 10 right now. All right, lovely assistant. You got to keep me straight over here. Who we got? We've got Randy McCarty and the Coolidge Scorpions. I'm pretty sure we're going with the Coolidge as well. Appreciate that, Ferg. So we are going to put him on the board and we will spin until we get an open position. Josh says this makes him want to drink. You should have seen one earlier. So I had Gerard Petrino over here with me and he was helping me out with these earlier today. And we're rolling 2 6-sided dice. And we're trying to figure out how a 9 and a 4 was equaling 13 on 2 6-sided dice. Not even thinking that that was a 6 and a 4. There can't be a 9, and neither one of us had had anything to drink yet. So you talk about having some fun with that one. So we rolled a number 5. We're going to spin until we get a team or a spot to put on the board. So we are going to put Randy in the number 9 spot. Is already taken, so we will re-roll again.
Well, I got some.
Number 1 spot is already taken, so we will re-roll again. Number 8 spot is open, so we will put the Scorpions in the number 8 spot. Also a very cool logo. And let's re-roll some action dice. Thank you guys again for making sure I am straight on all of this stuff. If anybody's going to keep me straight, you all are. 8. We're going to spin and replace a team. Jamie says you're killing me. Man, you've been on the board, off the board. I don't know what to do with you, man. Them horny toads.
He's being crazy.
He's being crazy, yep. All right, give me a number. So since we rolled an 8, this team that we pull out could pull a team off of a board. Who do we got? We got Matt Brown and the Aviators getting ready to come up. Matt, you are going on the board no matter what. We got to see if you're replacing a team or if you're just going on the board. Let's see where you're going. You're going into the number 2 spot, so let's pull the Aviators up. There you are, Aviators. Let's put you in the number 2 spot. That means the Blackbeards are coming off the board. He's going to go back in the hat.
I'm sorry for you.
Did you say you feel sorry for him?
Yeah.
All right, let's pull the Blackbeards out, fold him up, put him back in the hat. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice say 10. It means we're going to do a 3-team swap. 1, 2, 3. Oh, only 3, not 4.
Daddy.
What's up? Yeah, he says he's felt that shame. Let's see what our 3 dice give us. We got a 5, 10, and a 12. Let's see what order this came up in. It came in 12, 5, 10. So 12, Josh Cooper is going to move up into the 5. There is nobody to move from the 5 to the 10. And 10 cannot move into the 12. So the only team affected in all of that is Coop. And Coop, you went from 12 to 5. Hopefully that makes you feel a little bit better.
Yep.
7. So we are going to pull a team out of the hat. We will roll a die until we get one of those empty spots, which is 4, 6, 7, 10, or 12. And we will put this team on the board in one of those, and we will continue to roll until they go on the board. Who are we putting on the board? Can you tell me who that is? Oh, the Blackbeards.
The Blackbeards.
We just put them in, and we're putting them right back on the board. And because we rolled a 7, we continue to roll until we get an open spot. So let's roll and see if we get a 4, 6, 7, 10, or 12. We get a 5. That's the spot Coop just went into, so we will re-roll. Number 9 is already filled. Number 12. So Blackbeards got bumped from 2. Get ready to go right back on the board, and they're going into the number 12 spot. This is like watching a Cowboys game. Yeah. What happens when we hit the hour mark? Halftime break? No, I'm going to keep on going, man. We thought when we hit the hour mark earlier with the Banshees that the broadcast was actually going to end. I'm not sure why it said I only had an hour time limit, but we rolled over that and kept on going. And we had made it to right up to the final roll at the hour mark, and I paused to make sure it wasn't going to kick us off, and I was going to have to start another whole broadcast just to get that final roll in. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 9. It means we're going to swap 2 teams with 2d12. We got a lot of teams on the board right now, probably going to affect somebody. We are moving the 9 and the 3. So Ferg, you are moving down to 9. Jamie, you are moving back up to 3, this time legit. You 2 were involved in the last little crazy screw up that I had, but this time legit. Roll some action dice.
This is getting crazy.
Number 8 means we're going to spin and replace a team. So we're going to pull one of the 4 teams that are still left in the hat out. And if it happens to be a spot that's already on the board, whoever comes out will replace that team. If not, they'll go into the open hole. Who we got, Sticky Fingers? Boss Hogs. Metric, you're out there. We're going to put you on the list. You are absolutely going to go on the board somewhere. We just don't know if you're replacing somebody or going into an empty spot. Let's see where you are going. You are going into the number 5 spot. So you are replacing Coop. Coop, this is where you want to start drinking, man. So Boss Hog's going up. Rock and Roll is coming off. Boss Hog's going up to number 5. Rock and Roll is coming off the board. Let's get you grayed out there. But let's get your team here put back into the hat. There you are. Going back into the hat.
I am sorry.
Don't say that. Whoever said that, take it back. I'm not even going to say those words. You're not supposed to say them words.
I'm sorry.
You're on beer number 2. I would love to have a beer number 2 right now. All right, we rolled a 5, which means we're going to spin until an open position is filled. So in this case, we've only got 4 spots left in 4 teams. So 4, 6, 7, and 10 needs to be rolled with whoever we pulled out. All right, there we go. We got the Calloused Cowboys getting ready to go and Dan Wilson getting ready to go on the
Wait,
border. One of the coolest logos that we've also got. He's actually a Cowboys fan, even with his crazy name. So we're going to roll the 12-sided die, and we're going to put him either in 4, 6, 7, or 10. Can you let Little click the 2x6 dices? Would love for her to roll. Nah, man. I tell you what. I'll let her roll the final die. I don't want her to be the reason that I get all upset and stuff like that. All right, number 4 is an open spot. So we are actually going to put the Calloused Cowboys right into the number 4 spot. How convenient for us. Means we've only got 3 spots left, 6, 7, and 10. Let's roll some action dice. Man, if she was the reason that we got the snake eyes, I'd probably lose my daggone mind. She doesn't want that to happen. We got a 7, which means we're going to roll because you would be upset with her. Oh, man, yeah, I probably still would be. We got a 7, which means we got to roll the dice until we get a 6, 7, or 10 to put this team on the board. Josh, you're back out of the hat again. We're gonna put you.
picked Orlando 1 and I found him.
You found him again. So we have to roll a
Is my mind going crazy?
6, 7, or 10. So this could take a while since we've only got the 3 spots left. So Jamie says, explain snake eyes for those that have not seen this. So snake eyes means, man, that dice is sitting on its edge. It's going into number 2. Josh, because we rolled a 7, we have to continue rolling until 6, 7, or 10 comes up. So snake eyes means everybody gets pulled from the board. And because it's our first snake eyes, we would pull everybody from the board no matter how far we've got. When we will have to start all over again. So we're looking for a 6, which we got. So Josh, you're moving up to the 6 spot. Or moving into the 6 spot, being put back on the board. Yeah, Jamie said, yeah, exactly. Oh, no, we don't want that to happen. And we were able to make it through the last one, the Hydras, without 1. So let's see how this goes. 7, we got 2 spots left. We got 2 teams left in the hat. 7 and 10 left. You have to be patient with us, guys.
7 and 10.
Yeah, you have to be patient with us because, it could take a while to roll one of those 2 numbers on a 12-sided die. Who are we putting on there? Roderick Williams is finally going on the board with the Panthers. I don't know, Roderick, if you're out there or not. I know this is the first time we've pulled you out of the hat. It says, weirdly, I am just pricing a game, and the team is Team Snake versus Deadeye Guys. That's funny. Let's roll this 12-sided die until we get a 7 or a 10 to figure out where we're going to put the Panthers on the board. It's an 8 already filled. We got to get a 7 or a 10. Could take us a while, so be patient. Yep. There is the 10. So we're going to put the Panthers into the number 10 spot. Now, here's what happens. Because we only have 1 team that's left in the hat, if one of the action dice rolls that we get here, Roderick's there? Okay, cool. If one of the action dice numbers that we come up with says just to place a team on the board because there's only 1 spot left, the last team that's in the hat will go into that spot but a whole bunch of other things can happen. But instead of having to roll, we'll just go ahead and put the team on the spot. So it's number 7. It says spin until an open position is filled. The only spot that's still left to fill is 7. And the only team that's still left in there, Jerry, it's you. I don't think you've come out of the hat at all. So we're getting ready to put you in the number 7 spot. So and don't get all excited. I don't want you all to think, oh, the board is filled, we're done. Nah, that's not how we do it here. So, Jerry, you're in the number 7 spot. So here's what we do. No snake eyes. Awesome. As much as you guys talked about it, that's 2 in a row with no snake eyes. That makes me happy. Thank you, assistant. High five. Appreciate you. Sorry, guys, for a little bit of hiccup. I'm glad that you all kept me honest and got me straight on that 1 spot between Ferg and Jamie. You okay? Oh, yeah, with all of his eyeballs. So here's how we do the final roll. Chris says, boo, no snake eyes. All right, so here's how the final roll goes. So instead of rolling 2 6-sided dice, which I'm going to load up the other dice right now, we roll 2 4-sided dice. It's very much like, I need 2 4-sided dice, not 4 4-sided dice. It's very much like how we were doing the 2 6-sided dice, except for we're doing it with 2 4. And what we do is we do it on what's called the final roll. So let me pull off the chart now and put up the final roll chart. Okay, final roll chart. So we roll 2 4-sided dice. For those that play Dungeons & Dragons, this is going to be the number that is at the point of each one of these dice. Old school D&D guys, remember it being at the base. They have since changed it. It's at the peak now. We will add these 2 together. Can we do snake eyes just once? No, man. Even if we get snake eyes here, it ain't happening. I've already had 7 snake eyes today. 7. Now, not all of those reset the board. After we do snake eyes one time and we roll it again, it is to do a 3-team swap. But total, every time that we've rolled it so far. It's been 7, and that was for just the first 3 regions because we didn't have one in Region 4, and now we didn't have one in Region 5. But anyways, we're going to roll 2 4-sided dice, and then what you see on the board is what that's going to equate to. So if we get a 2, we're going to swap 2 teams. If we get a 3, we swap 3 teams. If we get a 4, we swap 4 teams. If we get a 5, we will move up and down based on odd or even, just like we did on the last list. If we get a 6 and we are flipping a row, here's what it looks like. We will roll a 12-sided dice. Whatever number we roll, whatever row that is in, that is the row that we will flip. And we just flip that row. That means 1 becomes 6, 2 becomes 5, 3 becomes 4 if we roll a number up there. And in the bottom, if we get, let's say, a 10, we will swap 7 and 12, 8 and 11, and 9 and 10. If we roll a 7, that same thing will happen with both rows. And if we roll an 8, we flip the whole board. What does the whole board flip look like? 1 becomes 12, 2 becomes 11, 10 becomes 3, just like that. All right? So we've got our 2 4-sided dice keyed up. We're getting ready to roll it right now and see what the final roll does for us. That total is 6, which means we are going to flip a row. We have to figure out what row we are going to flip by rolling a 12-sided die. Whatever number we roll, that will be the row that we flip. We have no teams locked, so every team will move based on whatever row it is. Here comes a 12-sided die. 12-sided die says we are going to flip the row with a 12 in it. So, Jerry, you are moving down to 12. DJ, you're moving up to 7. Kelvin, you're moving to 11. Randy are moving up to 8. Randy, you're moving down to 11. And Ferg, you really still were hoping for that top 5. You and Roderick are going to switch positions. And that is the final order for the Scorpions draft. So again, you all will be drafting next Sunday at 7 p.m. That was basically about 15 minutes from right now. I'm in 1 week. You guess you meant bottom 5, yeah. Jamie ended up at number 3. So for the guys that are out there, I don't know if Matt ever showed up or not. I know Metric was there. He ended up at 5. Coop, you ended up in 6. Roderick, you ended up at 9. Ferg, 10. And Jerry, you're out there too. So Jerry, you're at the churn. Hopefully you like that. A couple people do like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up this board a little bit so it looks a little bit more pretty. I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and then I will put it in your guys' Discord chat channel. Thank you again for keeping me straight. I appreciate you guys for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to stick around and see more shenanigans, in an hour and 18 minutes at 8 o'clock p.m. East Coast time, we're going to do the final region, which is the West Canadian Lynx. If you just want to come back. She did a great job. Thank you. Everybody says thank you. Thank you for helping me out with that. And yeah, don't forget, draft next week. I will get the draft order put up on the MFL website, probably not tonight, but tomorrow after I make my trip over to Post. And then I will also get your guys' schedule set up. If you have any questions, especially from the new guys or the guys that haven't played with us for a while, ask on Discord. If you're not already on Discord, jump on there. And if you haven't logged into MFL with your account, make sure you get on there as well. All right? Ask me anything you got. And we'll see you Wednesday night for our show. Make sure you are there.